Welcome to Flash Core, your sharpest source for daily headlines and deep dives. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay ahead of the curve. Canada has just signed a monumental $214 billion agreement, a deal that stands as one of the largest and most ambitious in the nation's history. This landmark pact is set to transform not only Canada's economy, but also its global standing, signaling a bold new direction for the country's future. July 31, 2025, marks a pivotal turning point. This isn't just another trade deal, but a strategic partnership designed to reshape Canada's destiny for generations to come. The North Star Accord, years in the making, is a visionary initiative that aims to position Canada as a global leader in technology, clean energy, and advanced manufacturing. It's about harnessing innovation, investing in research, and building industries of the future. The investment will touch every corner of the country, from the bustling streets of major cities to the quiet resilience of remote communities. It promises growth, innovation, and new opportunities for all Canadians, regardless of where they live. The Prime Minister, flanked by international dignitaries and key partners, announced the deal in Ottawa, calling it a direct investment in Canadians and their future prosperity. This is a commitment to building a stronger, more resilient nation. The world is watching closely as this agreement redraws economic maps and redefines global relationships. Analysts everywhere are speculating on the ripple effects this will have across continents. For everyday Canadians, the North Star Accord means real, tangible opportunities. High-paying jobs in emerging industries, better public services like healthcare and education, and stronger, more connected communities. It's a bold move away from over-reliance on traditional partners, forging new alliances with Asian economies, and declaring a renewed sense of economic independence and self-determination. In a time of global uncertainty and the urgent need for a green transition, Canada has made a decisive leap forward. This agreement accelerates the shift to sustainable energy and positions Canada at the forefront of the global green economy. This pact signals a new era of confidence, ambition, and leadership for Canada on the world stage, inspiring hope and optimism both at home and abroad. As the ink dries on this historic agreement, a new chapter for Canada begins. One filled with promise, opportunity, and the potential to alter its destiny for generations to come. So, what's in the $214 billion North Star Accord? It's built on three pillars: green technology and critical minerals, artificial intelligence and digital infrastructure, and advanced manufacturing. Nearly half the funds go to developing and processing Canada's critical minerals for the global EV and battery markets. The second pillar turns Canada into an AI powerhouse, funding research, new development centers, and secure data infrastructure. The third pillar strengthens domestic manufacturing, especially in semiconductors and medical tech, to build resilient supply chains. Beyond money, the Accord fosters knowledge transfer, cultural exchanges, and sustainable resource management, blending economic growth with environmental stewardship. The North Star Accord is a strategic alliance between Canada, Japan, and South Korea, a major pivot from Canada's traditional US-centric policy. Japan brings industrial expertise and capital, investing in Canadian manufacturing and securing critical minerals for its economy. South Korea, a leader in semiconductors and digital innovation, will help build Canada's AI and tech infrastructure. In return, both Asian partners gain stable access to resources and a North American base for R&D. This trilateral pact forms a powerful economic bloc of democracies committed to innovation and resilient supply chains. It's not just about economics, it's a geopolitical statement of shared values and mutual respect. Together, these nations are building a stable, prosperous international order. The North Star Accord is set to spark a wave of prosperity across Canada. Over 300,000 new, high-quality jobs are projected in engineering, data science, manufacturing, and skilled trades. Major investments will modernize infrastructure, ports, railways, energy grids, and digital networks, connecting communities and boosting productivity. The deal diversifies Canada's trade, opening vast new markets in Asia and reducing reliance on the US. This shift makes the economy more resilient and globally competitive. The focus on innovation will drive a productivity boom, helping Canadian businesses export new technologies worldwide. Canada is moving from a resource-based economy to one built on high-value goods and intellectual property. This transition is key to long-term prosperity. The North Star Accord is Canada's blueprint for a sustainable, innovative future. The North Star Accord has jolted global markets. Canadian, Japanese, and South Korean stocks surged and the Canadian dollar strengthened. European leaders praised Canada's vision but worry about being outpaced, prompting calls for their own tech and mineral strategies. Developing nations see Canada's model as a blueprint for leveraging resources into high-tech growth, though some fear exclusion from new supply chains. China's response has been cautious, viewing the pact as a challenge to its dominance in minerals and technology. The deal is seen as a major realignment of economic power, shifting the global center of gravity. All eyes are now on how China and other powers will respond to this new bloc. Around the globe, world leaders are calling the North Star Accord nothing short of transformative, marking it as a pivotal moment in international cooperation and economic strategy. Japan's Prime Minister has hailed the agreement as a partnership for a new era, one that is firmly rooted in shared democratic values, mutual trust, and a commitment to sustainable innovation. He emphasized that this accord will not only strengthen economic ties but also foster technological collaboration and environmental stewardship between the nations involved. South Korea's president described the accord as a quantum leap forward, highlighting how it brings together Canadian natural resources, Japanese manufacturing prowess, and Korean digital expertise. He noted that this unique combination could set a new global standard for cross-border partnerships, driving growth and innovation across multiple sectors. Leading experts, such as Dr. Ilara Vance of the World Economic Forum, have praised Canada's bold strategy, focusing on building the entire value chain domestically, rather than simply exporting raw materials. This approach, they argue, could help create high-quality jobs, boost local economies, and ensure long-term resilience in a rapidly changing world. The North Star Accord is increasingly seen as a masterclass in economic statecraft, offering a blueprint for other resource-rich nations seeking to move up the value chain and capture greater benefits from their natural assets. However, not everyone is optimistic. Some analysts warn that the accord could heighten geopolitical friction, especially with major powers like China and the United States, who may view this alliance as a challenge to their own economic interests and influence. Dr. Mark Jennings, a respected international relations expert, cautions that the alliance could inadvertently create an us versus them dynamic on the world stage, making careful, nuanced diplomacy more essential than ever to avoid misunderstandings and maintain global stability. Ultimately, the success of the North Star Accord will depend not only on effective economic execution, but also on the ability of its members to skillfully navigate complex geopolitical waters and build trust with other global players. As the world watches closely, many are eager to see whether this bold experiment in international partnership can truly deliver on its ambitious promise and reshape the future of global cooperation. The U.S. has officially welcomed the North Star Accord, hailing it as a significant step forward for North American security and prosperity. American leaders have praised the agreement for its potential to strengthen economic ties and reinforce shared values between the two nations. The announcement was met with optimism in Washington, where officials highlighted the importance of collaboration in an increasingly complex global landscape. Yet, behind the scenes, not everyone is celebrating. Some American industries, particularly in the tech and automotive sectors, are expressing unease. They worry that the new bloc could bring tougher competition from Canadian firms, potentially threatening their market share and forcing them to innovate faster. Executives are closely monitoring how the accord might impact cross-border regulations, labor costs, and access to critical resources. The accord's focus on building more self-contained North American supply chains is seen as a double-edged sword. While it could boost regional resilience, some fear it may reduce U.S. influence over broader global supply networks. This has prompted calls from industry leaders and policymakers for increased domestic investment, workforce development, and incentives to keep American manufacturing competitive. On the geopolitical front, Washington views the alliance as a strategic move to strengthen the democratic network against authoritarian rivals, especially China. Analysts say the accord could help North America present a united front on trade, technology, and security, reinforcing the region's position in global affairs. For the U.S., the long-term strategic benefits of the North Star Accord are seen as outweighing any short-term economic concerns. Officials believe that deeper cooperation with Canada will ultimately drive innovation, create jobs, and enhance the region's competitiveness on the world stage. The deal could shift established trade patterns, but it also opens the door to new opportunities for American businesses, especially those operating near the border. Entrepreneurs and small business owners are already exploring ways to capitalize on streamlined regulations and increased cross-border collaboration. Ultimately, the North Star Accord represents a rebalancing, not a replacement, of the deep and enduring Canada-US partnership. It's a chance to modernize the relationship while preserving the close economic and cultural ties that have defined it for generations. Both countries remain closely intertwined, even as Canada pivots toward Asia in search of new markets. The future of North American cooperation will depend on how both sides adapt to these shifting dynamics, ensuring mutual growth and continued partnership. Despite optimism, the North Star Accord faces major challenges. Coordinating massive projects across 3 countries and countless companies is a logistical feat. Delays and cost overruns are real risks. Political changes in any partner nation could threaten the deal's continuity. Maintaining public support and cross-partisan consensus is crucial. Environmental and indigenous concerns over expanded mining must be addressed with the highest standards and meaningful consultation. Failure here could spark protests and legal challenges, derailing key projects. The alliance must also guard against geopolitical risks, economic retaliation, cyber attacks, and supply chain disruptions. Building a robust security framework is essential. The Accord's success depends on balancing ambition with responsibility and resilience. The North Star Accord is more than a headline. It's a declaration of Canada's ambition and a new global role. If successful, Canada will emerge more prosperous, resilient, and influential, setting a model for other nations. The trilateral partnership could redefine international cooperation, prioritizing collaboration over confrontation. The next steps, joint task forces, investment flows, and research launches, will set the tone for the decade ahead. For Canadians, this means real change, new jobs, new industries, and a sense of national purpose. The promise must now become reality. The North Star Accord is a bold bet on innovation, diversification, and democratic alliances. July 31, 2025 may be remembered as the day Canada charted a new, brighter course for its future.